right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Hello and welcome into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. My name's Cassidy Wood and I'm your host tonight. Guys, the Packers and Ravens game is going on right now. I know a lot of people here in Pittsburgh are probably watching this as we speak. The Ravens came out and did what we all kind of expected them to do after that loss to the Patriots, where Derrick Henry didn't touch the ball after he scored the touchdown with 12 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. They ended up losing that game. Harbaugh was asked after that time and time again, what happened? Where was King Henry? Well, he fed him the rock this time around. At halftime, Derrick Henry had 106 yards and 3 touchdowns, a hat trick in the first half of this game, just very impressive. And it looked like the Packers didn't really know what to do until 55 stepped up, stuffed him twice on that last drive, or 2 drives ago rather. Packers got the ball, went down and scored to cut it to 4, but then the Ravens scored again. So as of right now, the Ravens are up 10, 34-24, a bit of a shootout. I think we all, we didn't know how to take this game. 2 backup QBs, but Micah Parsons also not playing for Green Bay, and the Ravens defense has been very up and down. So didn't really know how to predict this one, but it definitely is a shootout. I'm joined alongside Brian Batko, and Bri, 3 touchdowns in one half for Derrick Henry. I think it's safe to say the King is back.
Yeah, he's just chewing up the ground right now against Green Bay. They've got no answers for him. And if you're the Steelers, you hope that there can be some Malik Willis magic here in the fourth quarter and maybe he can close this deficit for the Packers. But if not, go out there and handle business tomorrow in Cleveland, because do you really want to have to deal with him again in Week 18, albeit at Acrisure Stadium? But he's just been running through that Packers defense. Hot knife, meat butter.
Yeah, and it feels like every season it comes down to that final Steelers-Ravens game that has so much implications on the playoffs. But yes, if they can go out in Cleveland and handle business. Again, though, like we kind of were talking about last night, it's just, and guys, sorry, Penn West University question of the night, who will win tomorrow? Straight up, Steelers or Browns. Let your voices be heard there. Right now it's a 50-50 split, so let us know what you think. But yeah, like we were talking about last night, the Steelers have not had a break since their early bye this season, and I think it would be so beneficial to be able to rest some of these starters tomorrow. So, and especially in that final week heading into the playoffs. And so, yes, hopefully Malik Willis can have some magic. He does have 2 of the touchdowns for the Packers right now on the ground.
He's playing great. He's playing great this week, and I thought he played really well last week against Chicago. And this has been an extension of how he looked last year, once or twice filling in for Jordan Love. So while all Steelers fans are kind of enthralled with this late season run and keeping most of their focus on the playoffs here to end the 2025 season, I think a large portion of the fan base also still has the 2026 quarterback situation on the back burner, in the back of their mind. And somebody like Willis, the way he's playing right now, it's hard not to look ahead at least a little bit and think of him as one of the options for next offseason.
Yeah, I suppose, Bri, but remember, there's still Will Howard that everybody was so high on at the beginning of the season. And, they think he's going to come out and be the next generation of Big Ben, essentially. That's how people were talking about him after training camp. So who knows? He's still around.
And Aaron Rodgers is still around. I feel this is the most optimistic that I've felt all season, that Aaron Rodgers might actually want to run it back. If you'd have asked me a month ago, I would have said, no chance. The guy's getting beat up. He's not playing well. He looks like he just wants to get to the end of this thing. But, he even said on Wednesday he feels like he's Benjamin Buttoning this thing here, where his body's feeling better toward the end of the season. So, hey, it all kind of depends, I think, on a week-to-week basis and how this season finishes out. But, even more than that early season run where people were wondering if he was going to set the franchise record for touchdown passes, I feel more likely now that he might not actually be done, but we'll see.
Yeah, Yeah, we will definitely see about that. All right, guys, again, remember Penn West University question of the night, just straight up. Who will win tomorrow, Steelers and Browns? And we had a lot of bowl games today. Pitt and Penn State both played in their bowl games. We're going to touch on that after we get back from our first break. We're going to head to break. Give us a call, 412-575-2600. And yeah, we'll be right back after this if we take the break. Welcome back to the Nightly Sports Call. This is our Xfinity tweet of the night. Pitt has lost at least 5 games in 9 of 11 seasons under Pat Narduzzi. Pitt fans, what do you think of your football program? Now, remember last year they started hot, went on a 7-game win streak, and then dropped their final 5 games in a row. And at that point, I think a lot of people were questioning Pat Narduzzi, and especially that offensive line. It was just a mess, and it was riddled with injuries. Well, the whole narrative heading into this season was that he fixed that, and they added a lot of depth to the O-line, and they remedied that situation. But then it kind of looked like, yet again, late in the season, they just couldn't protect Mason. And granted, he's a true freshman. He's only 18 years old. I think, he has a lot in front of him. He has time to develop, but can this coaching staff develop him?
Yeah, tough end of the season for true freshman Mason Heinschel. I mean, I still think it was a heck of a run for him to go on. It was a heck of a ride, really, for Pitt football fans once he got inserted into the lineup in that Boston College game, taking over for Eli Holstein, who, I mean, he was the face of the program on the field coming into this season. So no Kyle Lewis today, but Rasheem Biles played really well. He went from Robin to Batman in this bowl game. Not really a household name, but if you're a Pitt diehard, you've been watching him for the last couple years ball out. Heinschel, though, I mean, I think you just have to hope, Cassidy, that while it would be nice to go into the offseason on a high note and on a good vibe and, take some momentum and confidence into 2026, that's always what coaches say about these bowl games. Maybe the way he played in this one, the really bad interception that was nearly a pick six, and then even that last series where it was desperation time, but he didn't even get a throw off for the final Hail Mary. Maybe it can be a little bit of a wake-up call for him of what he needs to work on and what he needs to get back in the lab for 2026.
Yeah, now I want to read a couple tweets. I had some people tweeting at me about this game, and essentially, like, some of them saying his development will go as well as Holstein's. And remember, I want to touch on that too. Remember last year, Holstein looked electric during that 7-game win streak. He had the injury, ended up sitting out for the remainder of the season, and everybody was so high on him this year. And then he goes out and just does not look great. So again, the development throughout, the offseason leading up to that home opener, it was just, it's disheartening to look at that development when he started off so well last year. So what happened there? So people are saying that potentially maybe it's not the right coaching staff that can develop these quarterbacks. And they're saying that, Heinschel could be a victim to that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair question to ask. I think Cade Bell's done a lot of good in his 2 years as offensive coordinator. But, when it comes to Holstein versus Heinschel, I mean, I think I see, especially in a younger player with Heinschel, a little bit more natural playmaking while also being a better fit for what Cade Bell wants to do in his system. But, yeah, I think you always kind of see those interactions between those two on the sidelines after a big mistake by Heinschel. And you just hope that they can get on the same page and that, yeah, Bell can bring the best out of him. So, I mean, that's really what you're hoping for if you're a Pitt fan next season, is that those two are in lockstep. You certainly put some big-time playmakers around Heinschel, and that, maybe you can make another push in the ACC a year from now.
Yeah, and I must mention, too, defensive coordinator Randy Bates officially retired after today's game. Kind of an unfortunate way to go out in the Military Bowl. I mean, he's a retired U.S. lieutenant, so a Navy lieutenant. So kind of a crappy way to go out. But 40 years of coaching football. It's just such an impressive career, and spent the last, I believe, 8 here in Pittsburgh with Pitt. So
running Pat Narduzzi's defense. One of the good guys, really, in college football. I covered Randy Bates when I was on the Pitt beat, and, would always say hi to me, remember my face, and make some small talk now that I'm on the Steelers beat when I would see him around the facility. So happy retirement to Randy Bates, and wish him the best. He is he's a ball of energy. He is going to keep himself busy, I think, after his coaching tenure.
Yeah, those type of guys, I feel like they never fully walk away from the game. So something tells me, well, we might still see him over there on the south side a little bit here and there. And then Penn State also had their bowl game today and beat Clemson. And really what was tugged at the emotional heartstrings for me on this one was Terry Smith's interview afterwards. Obviously, he won't be returning next year. They got Matt Campbell out of Iowa State, and I think he's a great hire for Penn State. I think he's going to do great things for this program. But to see Terry Smith get emotional the way he did after the game, it was so nice to see. And he even said, you know, these guys don't have to come out here and put their bodies on the line for an insignificant bowl game the way they did, but they wanted to win the right way. And I think in a way, these players wanted to do it for Terry Smith. So just impressive win by Penn State. And I mean, we've talked about it throughout this season. I've never seen such a drop off that like Penn State had. I mean, ranked number 2 in the country, and then, you know, going down to the Pinstripe Bowl. And,
that was the tale of both of the teams in this game. I mean, Penn State and Clemson, you could have very easily predicted them to be the national championship, you know, way back in early September. But yeah, Terry Smith not returning as head coach, but I believe Matt Campbell is going to keep him on the staff. So he's still an integral part of that program. But I mean, I think even he kind of recognizes that getting the win as the interim coach in that bowl game and finishing this season on a high note for them was really a thrill for the fan base, especially the ones who traveled to New York City on what I believe was a very cold day up there in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. I have covered the Pinstripe Bowl, Pitt Northwestern, you know, nearly a decade ago now, and the wind was whipping on that day. So yeah, that's one of those catch-22s of a bowl game. You know, you're in the Big Apple at Christmas time, but it's not really the tropical weather you're hoping for to end your season on.
Oh, yeah, not at all. And shout out Austin Bechtold from the fan who made a last-minute trip out there. That was hilarious to see. Dedicated guy right there. But, yeah, I just think with Penn State, too, they're just going to be such a question mark next year. Drew Aller, I think he's out of eligibility, but I also heard a rumor that there's some quarterback that's trying, I believe, I forget where actually he is, but he's trying to
Everybody does it now. You never know. People are petitioning left and right for the NCAA to make up any excuse. It's the Wild West right now in college sports. So I think if he really wanted to, he could probably try, but he might just go the NFL route. And speaking of quarterbacks, we brought it up the first segment. I think while we were talking about him, Malik Willis went down with a shoulder injury for the Packers. So there might not be any Malik magic. They might have to settle for Clayton Chaos.
Oh, is he out of the game right now?
I believe so.
Oh, dang. Yeah. See, that's the only downside when we have this with a game going on.
Yeah, it's exciting. There's a lot going on. There's a lot happening right now, and it impacts the Steelers massively.
Yes, it really, really does. And I'm just so interested to see this game tomorrow, too, because it could be very exciting. And, you know, we could see all the starters in, or it could be a game where it's like, hey, you know, we can kind of mail this one in, sit back, enjoy it, win, lose. It doesn't really matter. We haven't had that in a while. But let's get out to the phone lines, though. We do have Chuck in Uniontown. Chuck, what's going on? Chuck, you there?
Yeah, Chuck. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Hey, Chuck.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Belated Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
You too, Chuck. I got your email. I meant to respond. I'm going to respond to you tomorrow on the way to Cleveland in the car. Thank you for sending that, by the way.
Yeah, that's not my email. I don't have email.
Oh, okay. Different Chuck then.
Maybe it's a different Chuck.
But anyway, do you think that if the Steelers don't clinch this weekend that they can still turn back Baltimore? Because what I fear, Steelers and Browns in Cleveland is a lot different from Steelers and Browns in Pittsburgh. It's always tough to play those guys up there, no matter how bad their record might be. Can the Steelers still win if they don't clinch this weekend?
I mean, I'm going to say yes, just because that final game is here in Pittsburgh. I feel like that is huge for that game. I think if it was in Baltimore, a Week 18 playoff contending, game in Baltimore, I'd be a little more hesitant. But I mean, if they somehow get out of this weekend without clinching, if they somehow either lose in Cleveland or something happens where they don't clinch, I could still see them pulling out the win in Week 18. What about you, Bri?
Yeah, well, first, great point by Chuck, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, hey, they're not losing this game to the Browns if they need to win it. The Browns are 3-12. Shedeur Sanders is starting. But might I remind you, a few years ago, they lost to Dorian Thompson-Robinson in Cleveland. Now, they didn't have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. That makes a huge difference. But I'm just saying, I mean, to Chuck's point there, yes, weird things can happen when the Steelers play at the Browns, so I never really view it as a layup. But even if they don't find a way to get out of there with a win, I mean, I don't think you really want to play the Ravens with your season on the line just because of the intimate familiarity between these teams. It's usually always close, and it seems to come down to one play at the end all the times. And generally, the Steelers have gotten one over on John Harbaugh and the Ravens. But yeah, I don't think you'd want to be in that situation. I'd probably be looking at that game as something of another 50-50 proposition for the Steelers, even with them being at home.
Yeah, I could agree with that for sure. And I forgot about DTR. What a legend. All right, guys. Remember to tap your phone, scan the QR code. Question of the night: who will win tomorrow, Steelers or Browns? Let us know, and we're going to head to our last break. Give us a call, 412-575-2600. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Nightly Sports Call. I'm your host tonight, Cassidy Wood, joined alongside Brian Batko, and we have 2 minutes left in this Packers-Ravens game. The Ravens still up 10, so it's looking like, as of right now, Aaron Rodgers did not get any help from his former team. But what did happen is Derrick Henry just had his 35th carry, which now is his most carries. He broke his career high for most carries in a game. So I think it's safe to say John Harbaugh definitely overcorrected after the Pats game.
Got the memo.
Definitely got the memo. But Brian, I mean, what do you make of this? So tomorrow, clearly, we're going to see all the starters probably, unless something absolutely insane happens in these final 2 minutes. So Aaron Rodgers, I mean, all of them, this is clinch time.
Yeah, no TJ Watt, though. He's out with that lung injury. We know that. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's full speed ahead for everybody else. And never easy to win up there for them. Myles Garrett on the other side, I mean, he can wreck a game by himself, and he's chasing the sack record to do it at home. I still think the Steelers get it done, though. I'm going to go Steelers 20, Browns 19, so a close one. But I think if the conditions are bad, it's supposed to be rainy and windy, I feel more optimistic about Aaron Rodgers persevering through that and making plays than Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I agree with you also. My producer just told me in my ear that Derrick Henry just got his 4th touchdown, so he's up to 219 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Hey, credit to the Ravens for not just going gently into the season.
Crazy. Just so crazy. And Brian, I agree with you. I mean, no DK Metcalf tomorrow either, which is also scary. But I do think the Steelers are going to be able to pull this out. I think that 1-2 punch in Kenny Gainwell and Jalen Warren will be a good thing. And hopefully, you know, they just got to have some solid blocking up front on Myles Garrett. And I think, you know, hopefully they can pound the rock. And we'll see. All right, guys. Brian, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time. Same place, same time.